The TI Click EDC Pen. I actually got this pen as a gift from a friend and thought I would throw up a video on it. Here it is on the box it comes in. As the box implies, this is the ultimate refill-friendly Click pen. It's made of grade 5 titanium, which I'll get to in a little bit, and also it is the ultimate refill-friendly Click pen because it takes, as shown right here, over 100 refills. So whatever your favorite refill is, short or long, for the most part, this pen is going to be able to handle it. If you want to change it, the pen will adjust to that. The pen is $100. It initially started as a Kickstarter campaign, and they've gone on to make a bunch of other items. You can check out their website, put some links down below. The pen comes in 3 colors: machined raw, stonewashed, and midnight black. Here's the pen itself. It is 0.9 ounces, 25 grams. So the box right here, there's the inside of the box. Nothing else fancy on the box except on the back. There is some more information, compatible refill list. Other stuff that comes with it comes with a little thing here that if you sign up for their newsletter, they'll give you $5 off your next order of $50 or more. It comes with some instructions on how to change the ink cartridge. It comes with some extra O-rings, which I'll show you the usefulness of those in a bit. Hopefully you won't need them, but it is nice that they include those with it. It comes with what I initially thought was a keychain, but turns out this is actually a tool for removing the pocket clip. I suppose you could still use it as a keychain. You could put this through here and put your keys on here, or you could use it as a sort of a weapon. You could put it in your hand and poke with it. Anyway, but it's actually a tool for removing the pocket clip. And then it comes with a little information packet. Let's have a look at the pen here. On the back, the mechanism right there, it's kind of a thinner mechanism. Personal preference, a lot of other tactical pens these days have the Schmidt knock on them, that bigger mechanism. I kind of prefer this one a little bit. It's a little bit, feels more robust. I feel like I can be a little bit, not that I'm rough with my pens, but I feel like I can be a little bit more rougher with that. This one, it's thin, it works fine. Every so often it will get stuck out, but for the most part, it does well. Down below it here, there's the pocket clip. And the only logo on the pen is that little TI logo right there on the pocket clip. And you can see back here, see those little 3 holes there. Sometimes what will happen with the pocket clip on some of my pens is that, like this one here, when this pen, my mover and shaker pens, when I first got them, the pocket clip was nice and flush against the pen. And then over time, as you wear it with different clothes, the pocket clip gets bent out. And occasionally you might snag it on something and get it way bent out. And maybe you want to adjust it. So the way that you do that with this is you take the pocket clip removal tool. You can see there's 3 little notches there, 3 little notches on the back there. You put it over that, and then you just twist this to loosen this. If for some reason this is tight and you can't do it, you can put this ring through here and use it for a little bit more torque. So you take this off, this comes off, and then you can take the pocket clip out there, and then you can put a pair of pliers here and bend it back down. And then you just put it back in and tighten that back down. So the pocket clip will not spin around on the pen, not that it would really matter, but it's fixed right in there. The pen, the body here is here and then down into the sort of the grip, which flares out a little bit because this is the part that adjusts. Before I talk about this, the titanium. So as I mentioned, the pen is made of grade 5 titanium. I didn't know what that meant. It sounds fancy, grade 5. It must be better than grades 1 through 4 because it's 5. Turns out there are a ton of different grades of titanium. And just the brief titanium interlude here, grade 1 through 4, they're commercially pure titanium. 1 is soft and ductile, 2 is similar but a little bit stronger, 3 isn't used that much, and 4 is the strongest of the commercially pure titaniums and uses in a lot of industrial applications. The pocket clip on this is made of grade 4 titanium, so super strong pocket clip that will help it hopefully not bend much, but if it does, you can adjust it. And then there are titanium alloys, 5, 7, 11, 12, 23, a bunch of different options there. 7 and 11 are similar to 1 and 2. 5, which is what this is made of, is kind of the workhorse of the titanium alloys. It accounts for about 50% of titanium usage through the world. It has high strength, yet is lightweight. And this pen at 0.9 ounces, it doesn't feel too heavy, it doesn't feel too light, it feels sort of just right. It's just a nice, good EDC weight. 23 and 12, medical applications, 12 is good for welding. Anyway, lots of different types of titanium, and this one, they put some nice options on it with some, good use here, and then a stronger one for the pocket clip. So that's the titanium stuff for you. Along with that titanium, the pen has no plastic parts, so there's really nothing in here that should wear out. Occasionally, sometimes with this little mechanism here, you might be able to hear a little bit of that clicking. And you can take this off. There's some videos on their website where it will show you how you can lube that up a little bit to make it go a little bit smoother. But for the most part, it's been fine for me. Now down to the grip here, as you can see, it flares out a little bit there. It is comfortable to hold. And this is how long the pen is, but the fact of how long the pen is dependent on what refill you put in it. And the way that you adjust that is you unscrew the head here, and that comes off eventually. There we go. So that comes off. Those two O-rings are right there, and you can replace them if need be. There's a spring in here, and then the refills. So the refills, like I mentioned, you can use any different refills. I actually took this refill out of a Pilot G2 pen that I had, and I use it for this. You can use a Parker Gel, again, smaller, longer. You saw how long it was. When I first started, I used this one, and then I'll put this shorter one in here. The spring here, the spring has a wider side and a more narrow side. When you put it onto the ink, one side might fit a little bit better than the other. So you just kind of see this Parker one, or this Pilot rather, is a little bit wider. The smaller side doesn't fit as well. So you just have to play with it, and it kind of fits down there. Just kind of play with it a little bit. If you have a bigger refill, you can put it in there. So there's that. You put that on here, and then you put this into here. Get that out of the way. Push the mechanism so it's in the out position. You can see right here when you're starting to screw that back in, that is what's going to catch. So you put that in here and start spinning. Now it'll get to those O-rings, and then again you have this closed, so eventually as you're spinning, that ink is going to, oops, I accidentally closed it, but that ink is going to protrude there. And then you can adjust this depending on how much ink you like sticking out. So there, it's a lot. Alternatively, you just spin it back down, and you can have a little bit, have a little bit more, kind of whatever your liking is of how much ink you like sticking out of there. And because those two O-rings are there, this does not move. It has a collet in here so that the ink really should not move around much in here. It shouldn't wobble too much. And then this pen is now shorter. Again, you can use the longer ink refill that will make the pen longer. What I discovered, I had a Fisher Space pen, a little bullet pen sitting around, and the super short refill from this was too short for this, but otherwise, almost all the refills were fine. Now, just to sort of give you a comparison to the size of some other pens, although it's going to be different because, again, it depends on the length of the refill you put in it, but just to give you just a ballpark idea. So here's the TI Click pen, Surefire pen, mover and shaker pens, Tough Rider Mini Click, and a Pilot G2. And then one more. There's that bullet pen. So again, I like a little bit shorter pens. This works perfect with the smaller refills, but if you're something like a little bit longer pen, you could do that as well. I've been using this pen for a while now, and overall, it is very comfortable to write with. Taking it to work, sign things with it there, carry it around, and it's comfortable. The pocket clip has a decent amount of space under the pocket clip. I might say it could have just a hint more. Some of my other pens have a little bit more space under the pocket clip. Not a huge deal. Overall, for an EDC pen for normal pants, it's going to be fine. But if you're going to put it in some thicker pants, you might have just a little bit of snugness there. But if that pocket clip bends, you can always adjust it back, so not a big deal there. I like the fact that the pen is adjustable. It's a good weight to it. The clicker is smooth. Again, it occasionally gets stuck, but for the most part does perfectly fine. And it is very comfortable to write with. And I like that it can take a whole bunch of different refills and be either short or long, because sometimes I have like the mover and shaker pens, which are essentially the same pen but different lengths. And sometimes you want a shorter pen, sometimes you want a longer pen. So I like that this pen can adjust for that just pretty simply by just swapping out that refill. So I recommend it. Check one out. I'll put the links down below. The TI Click EDC Pen.